Americans are becoming more European. At least that's according to a Pew Research
Conservatives are going to
poll.
be so angry.
No, it's
this
really,
has got to be a terrible thing, right?
It's actually a pretty good thing because for a very, very long time, Americans would think of themselves as the best. Okay, there's no country that can top ours. But because of a few disastrous results like the war in Iraq, what's happening in Afghanistan, turns out that Americans are a little more embarrassed and they're a little more willing to say maybe we're not the best country. In fact, to give you guys some specific numbers, fewer Americans believe that our culture is superior to others, 49% now versus 60% just 10 years ago. And also a rising share of Americans believe that or support an activist government.
So that's good news, not because, oh, you're America haters, oh, you like it when we go more European, huh? No, because, hey, perhaps if we looked at other, for example, educational systems, and you can pick a lot of different policies, but you say, hey, South Korea is doing something right, Finland is doing something right, perhaps we could learn something from that. When you look at the different healthcare systems, turns out we're ranked number 37. Perhaps there's a different system that we might be able to learn from and get better.
Before Obamacare, we were number 1.
So I think that's really welcome news that we're at least opening our horizons a little bit and seeing how we can get back to number 1 on some of these.
And not just, I totally agree. I think there's also just a benefit of that suggests that people not blindly thinking that we're the best at everything to the point of being ignorant about other stuff, even if it's not governmental bodies or governmental agencies, reforming healthcare, reforming education. I mean, there's something to be learned by the way the French lead their lives. There's something to learn by the way the French raise their children, who tend to come out pretty happy and well-adjusted. The parents don't pull their hair out all the time. And plus there's just all this interesting culture all over the world that, the other people, we're not knocking us. Other people do things just fine too.
By the way, that's actually the genius of America. We take the culture of all the different cultures around the world and we Americanize them and make them better.
Yeah,
that's what I look. Of course, people are going to get so mad that I said that. But look, if you ask me, we take the food of all the different countries. Yeah, we take the local culture out of it a little bit, but we also make it a little better.
Food is a totally different story.
Look, let me give you a non-offensive example, okay? The Italians, they're like, oh, we got a great pizza pie, you got the bread, and you got the tomato.
I like how you said non-offensive.
Non-offensive. Yeah. Okay, you can insult the Italians, doesn't matter. Okay, and the Americans were like, how about we add cheese on top? Okay, that only made the pizza a million times better.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Originally, the Italians had no cheese on the pizza. Well, what the hell's the point? Okay, so look, and obviously I'm joking to a large extent, but when we're a melting pot, that's how we become number 1. That's how we gain success. That's why people want to come here, because we learn from other people. And that's what we used to do in our golden age. Now we've shut that down, and we've got these xenophobes yelling maniacally, we're number 1, as we keep sinking lower and lower in all these different categories. And I like the second part of that, too. The kids, when they see, for example, the younger generation, hey, we had that giant stock market crash that wound up really destroying our economy. Perhaps if the government was regulating the banks a little bit, that might have helped. Well, you're right. An activist government in that sense would have helped.
I like how the U.S. is good at taking the food of other countries. Like the fattest country in the world is good at taking the food of other countries and making it fattier. Okay, so that's what we're good at.
I know.
But
we
don't pay attention to Finland with their awesome educational system. Who cares? Screw that, right? We don't pay attention to Portugal with their awesome drug regulations or lack of regulation.
Ever had a good Finnish meal? Ever had a good Portuguese meal? No. What up? Shut up.
Winner.
Number 1.
By the way, I'm sure you could have an excellent Portuguese meal.
I'm sure it's fantastic. Salted fish.
Okay.
By the way, I have no idea. Is that what they eat in Finland?
Probably. And you can get that at your local deli.
Americans are far less likely than Europeans to believe that success is the result of circumstances beyond our control, and Americans believe that government should help the needy much less than Europeans do.
Younger Americans slightly less. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, the young are getting better, but overall, we're still just some goddamn bootstraps. Good luck to you.
Yep.
If you don't like it, go eat that salty bullshit fish they got in Finland.